The vision shown in this video has been recorded in a controlled setting for the purpose of product installation demonstration purposes only. LYSAGHT Imperial features broad flat pans and slender, well-defined ribs in a clearly elegant cladding which complements virtually any architectural design. It offers a curving capacity not readily achieved in all cladding for the ultimate in style and versatility. This video will only consider a common non-cyclonic roofing installation application, as the fixing methodologies for this profile are much the same for both roofing and walling. As part of the LYSAGHT Zenith range, this profile is supported by the comprehensive Zenith Roofing and Walling Design and Installation Manual, which also has a cyclonic area variant. You will benefit from referring to this installation video and the detailed non-cyclonic manual together. LYSAGHT Imperial is available in cover widths from 180mm to 525mm, with two standard sizes of 325mm and 525mm for maximum economy and efficiency. Additionally, Imperial is available in 0.55mm base metal thickness or 0.75mm base metal thickness for special projects. Imperial's concealed fixed cladding system utilises two types of clips. The fixed clips are usually positioned at building edges, and the sliding clips are usually in non-perimeter areas. Clips are affixed to metal battens using smooth-top flathead metal screws. For fixing to plywood or timber battens, countersunk head metal screws are used. The manual details recommended fixing patterns for both fixed and sliding clips. Generally, fixed clips are used in the perimeter areas depicted as A. For metal batten applications, fixed clips are used throughout at similar centres to plywood applications. The maximum recommended length for LYSAGHT Imperial is 15 metres. However, for batten fixed applications, the maximum length is not recommended to exceed 8 metres, as the fixed clips will restrict thermal expansion and contraction, leading to potential oil canning. LYSAGHT Imperial can be readily installed on either battens or structural ply membrane. For roofing applications, a structural ply membrane is required for Imperial covering widths greater than 325mm to provide adequate support for foot traffic during installation and maintenance. Install as per manufacturer's recommendations. It is good practice to install a heavy-duty roof sarking for both roofing and wall applications across all the LYSAGHT Zenith range profiles as an additional weatherproofing measure. Make all laps in the sarking with a 150mm lap. Tape with sisolation tape on at least the outside face. Best practice would be to seal the lap with double-sided tape first. Ensure there are no ripples or puckers. Seal at the top. Follow the manufacturer's installation recommendations. For maximum weather tightness, lay sheets toward prevailing weather. Before lifting sheets onto the roof, check that they are the correct way up. Also, that the overlapping side is toward the edge of the roof from which installation will start. You will find this much easier and safer than trying to turn sheets on the roof. Place bundles of sheets over or near firm supports, not at mid-span of roof members. Order roof sheeting cut to the length of your roofing run, plus an allowance for overhang. For example, into a standard gutter, this may be 50mm extra. Design the pan width of the sheets to allow an even span across the roofing area, ensuring equal barge flashing widths. As this profile is a variable width product, profile-specific turn-up, turn-down tools are not available from LYSAGHT. Select the most appropriate size tool appropriate to your pan width from the various size tools commercially available. To create the turn-up, at the top of the sheet, fit the tool over the end of the tray as far as it will go. Then push the handle to form a turn-up as close to 90 degrees as possible. Based on the width of your tool, you may need to gradually work the turn angle along the edge of the pan until the angle is achieved. Take care not to tear the corner edges of the turn-up. You can turn up sheets anytime. If you do it after they are fixed, make sure there is sufficient clearance to operate the tool effectively. At the gutter end of the sheet, turn down the sheet pan to approximately 20 degrees using the same procedure. Turning down is often done after the sheeting is fixed on the roof, providing there is no obstruction to the operation of the turn down tool. Position the first sheet to align parallel with the building edge, with the overlap rib closest to the building edge. To ensure that the barge flashings are equal on each side of the roofing run, attention should be given to align the first sheet considering the roof run and sheeting cover. Fit fixed clips to the underlap edge of the sheet, measuring and marking to 350mm centres. Make sure that they are square with no sharp edges protruding. Screw fixed clips. Ensure screws are fully tightened. Place the first sheet over the clips and position longitudinally. Ensure the overhang at the gutter end is as required. 50mm is a common practice. Double check placements and measurements to ensure the last sheet will lay where you planned. Using a Stubai angle seam closer, work your way down the entire edge of the first sheet so that the fixed clips hold the sheet firmly in place. In one pass, using a Wuko hand seamer or Piccolo mechanical seamer, finish the seam along the full length of the sheet. Remove any protective film away from the edges of the panel. Along the trailing edge of the first sheet, install 2 fixed clips at the top and bottom of the sheet at 350mm centres. And then lay out the fixed sliding clips at 700 centres. Align the following sheets using the long edge of the previous sheet and a measurement from the end of the sheet to the fascia or purlin at the gutter. It is important to keep the gutter end of all sheets in a straight line. Using a Stubai angle seam closer or similar, commence the single seam closure over the first fixed clips, covering enough area to set up your seamer. Using a Wuko hand seamer or Piccolo mechanical seamer, seam the full length of the sheet in one pass. Repeat this process for the roof run. On the final sheet, use fixed clips at 350mm centres along the length of the panel. To complete the roof installation, now fit the barge and ridge flashings. The Australian standard for design of flashings are referenced both in HB 39 2015 and the Zenith Design and Installation Manual. Our manual covers the common roof flashing detail, including hip and valleys. LYSAGHT produce all of these and any custom flashings to suit your individual requirements. The barge flashings need to cover from the building external wall to over the sheeting first rib to provide a weathertight solution. In situations where the edge of the imperial cladding aligns with the edge of the building, the barge flashing may be matched to the width of the imperial rib and used to fix the sheet end. The arrangement of the barge cap design and fitting is predominantly personal choice. But here is a suggested best practice method from a common installation scenario. Be sure to order your barge cappings over length. Start fitting preparations at the gutter end first by measuring, marking and cutting the fold over to the height of the rib, 27 millimetres. Push the prepared gutter end into place, aligning with the laid sheet ends. While sitting in place, measure and mark cuts and notching at the ridge end of the sheet. Cut to fit. Remove all protective film from the end sheet. Place prepared barge capping in place, ready to fix. Remove swarf as you go to prevent scratches to the finished surface of the sheeting. Fix the imperial sheeting with colour-matched 4.8mm sealed aluminium rivets. Moving protective film out of the way of the fixing as you go, rivet fix the capping to the imperial sheet ridges at max 900mm centres. Complete the opposing side barge capping in the same manner. In situations where the imperial sheets are not directly aligned to the building edge, the barge capping will need to cover the first fixed rib. If the barge top face exceeds 240mm, an additional Z support flashing must be installed at the midpoint between the external wall and first sheeting bridge to support the barge capping. Once both barges are installed, install the ridge capping. Design the ridge cap to cover the top of the roof sheeting by a minimum of 150mm to allow the toes of the ridge flashing to sit well into the roof pan. Position the ridge cap flashing in place and then mark to allow notching and detailing around the barge top ends. Measure and cut ends to allow 5mm overlap 45 degrees across the barge junction. Notch. Check and adjust for fit as needed. Screw or rivet fix each rib. Mark off and drill 40mm rivet centres at the ridge barge junctions. Brush or blow off swarf created. Ensure a good silicon seal. Colour-matched silicon is recommended. Rivet fix and clean off excess sealant. To protect the final finish of the panels during the install, it is best practice to keep the protective film covering on as much of the sheet as possible until the last possible moment. And as swarf is created, brush or blow off the panels during installation to minimise the chance of marking. The final task is to remove any protective film left on the sheets and give the completed surface an overall clean to ensure any mist, potentially rust-staining swarf is removed.